want to go now to our Craig Boswell, who is standing by at Baltimore City Police Headquarters. Craig, what is this scene out where you are tonight?
And good evening to you. Look, as you heard from police, they say they will restore order in Baltimore tonight. We're standing in between City Hall and the Baltimore Police Department. Police have put up as many obstacles as possible in front of this police department. There are dozens and dozens of police cars stacked 3 deep on each side of the road. Of course, most of the officers are out into various parts of the city responding to the various vandals and acts of looting that are taking place. Look, these clashes with police are popping up all across the city. It began where we were earlier this afternoon in northwest Baltimore and then has dispersed throughout. In some locations, police are pulling back. You can see this from some of the aerial video that you can probably see right now. Police are pulling back in the sea of vandalism. No officers can be seen. Then at other locations, a number of police officers in riot gear are moving in, beginning to disperse some of these crowds. We've also heard from some members of the clergy who have said that these riots have to stop, while at the same time their message is the root of the problem has to be addressed. But again, the riots are not the way to get there. We've also heard from Billy Murphy Jr., the attorney for the Gray family, say that the family is really upset at what they're watching on television tonight. This is not at all what the Gray family expected today as they laid to rest Freddie Gray at this funeral service at New Shiloh Baptist Church. This is not at all what we expected. We expected a relative day of calm today and tomorrow. Then around 3 o'clock this afternoon, things began to escalate very quickly when what appeared to be teenage vandals began throwing rocks and bricks and anything that could pick up, bottles at police officers, and things escalated quickly. Once they finally got that crowd dispersed, which took a good 3 hours, it has now moved throughout areas of Baltimore towards areas that we had seen late Saturday night, towards Camden Yards. That, of course, we know now that that game scheduled at 7:05 is not going to be played. And then again, the question that we haven't gotten answered is we just heard from Baltimore's mayor talking about a citywide curfew to put in place tomorrow night. Why that citywide curfew would not be tried to be instituted tonight, something we'll try to get an answer to later on. But police had said earlier they're trying to move their resources from location to location, saying they can't just rush in. They have to get some type of a plan and then be able to disperse the crowds. And I don't know if you can see this behind me, traffic moving along here in front of the police department at a faster pace than it was. There's more cars beginning to move through. But look, there's the barricades in front of the police department will remain. In fact, at all of the precincts throughout Baltimore, there are barricades around each one of those precincts, many of them having been there now for several days.
And Craig, I know you've been on this story for a number of days. We heard the mayor of Baltimore, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, talk about the difference, as she saw it, between people who had been peacefully demonstrating and protesting and the people who were committing acts of violence today. I wonder if you could give us a little bit of context. What is it that you had observed, up until this point?
Right, and to that, and then I'll tell you, Councilman, you heard one of the councilmen calling these people out looting cowards. And look, we were here the weekend during this massive rally from the Gilmore homes, from the site where Freddie Gray was arrested, from the Western District, where there had been some heated conversations between the police and community. We saw that massive rally stream down to City Hall, come down to this area where we're standing now at City Hall for hours. People discussing what they need to do next, speaker after speaker, talking about what needed to happen, what happened to them, the brutality they had suffered at members of police, talking about what they had done, what they need to do now, a good open discussion of what needs to take place. Then later on in the evening, you had various groups that spread out towards the Inner Harbor, which is to my left, just about 4 blocks to my left, and then Camden Yards, which is just up from that, and then began to commit acts of vandalism. those people, we're told, are likely outside agitators. The ones tonight, police are saying, are definitely not the people that live in the Gilmore homes, not the people in West Baltimore that are affected by this, that are trying to make change in this city, trying to address police brutality in Baltimore.
All right. Craig Boswell reporting from Baltimore for us. Thank you very much for that perspective.